If you're a man who handles responsibilities without complaining, this video might be uncomfortable, because the men who carry the most are usually the ones carrying that weight in silence. You know the feeling. You're the one people call when things go wrong, the one who always has it together. But when you're tired, when you're overwhelmed, you tell yourself, I'll just deal with it later. The phone rings, and it's a friend needing a favor. The bills are due, and you're the one sorting them out. At work, you take on the extra project because someone has to. You're the reliable one, the rock, the person who fixes things. But who fixes things for you? By the end of this video, you'll understand why responsible men do talk and why staying silent might be costing you more than you realize. It's not about weakness. It's about the invisible price of perceived strength. We're going to break down the psychology behind this silence, why it feels like the only option, and what it's really doing to your life, your relationships, and your own sense of self. This isn't just another talk about opening up. It's about understanding the core reasons you don't, and finding a better way forward without sacrificing the person you are. Think about it. When was the last time you truly felt off your game? Maybe you were hit with a wave of exhaustion so deep that even simple decisions felt impossible. You're sitting in your car after work, just staring at the steering wheel, needing 10 minutes of quiet before you can even think about walking through the front door. Or maybe it was a moment of quiet panic when you looked at your finances or a looming family problem and thought, how am I going to handle this? But on the outside, you project calm. You tell everyone, it's fine, I've got it, because that's what's expected. You've built a reputation for being the guy who can handle anything, and you're afraid to let that image crack, even for a second. You worry that if you show a single sign of being overwhelmed, the entire structure you've built for others will come crashing down. This isn't just a feeling, it's a pattern, a cycle of shouldering burdens alone, pushing through the quietly struggling moments, and telling yourself that this is just what it means to be a dependable man. So why do we do this? The first reason is what psychologists call the provider-protector archetype. Society has long told men that their value is tied to what they can provide and protect, whether it's financial security, emotional stability for others, or physical safety. The message is clear. Your job is to be the shield, and a shield doesn't complain that it's taking too many hits. It just stands there and takes them. This role is deeply ingrained, often from a young age. We saw our fathers, uncles, or grandfathers do it. They worked hard, never complained, and handled problems behind closed doors. We learned that being a man meant absorbing pressure without showing any strain. Expressing emotional overload was seen as a failure to protect, a sign that you couldn't handle your duties. So, we learned to equate silence with strength and responsibility. We accepted that carrying this unseen weight was simply part of the job description. The second reason is the fear of being seen as a burden. You spend your life solving problems for other people. You're the go-to guy, so the idea of turning to someone and saying, hey, I'm not okay, I need help, feels like you're just handing your problems to someone else. It feels selfish. You think, they've got their own stuff to deal with. Why would I add my issues to their plate? This is especially true with our partners, family, or close friends. We want to be their source of strength, not another source of stress. So we keep it all inside, believing we are protecting them from our own struggles. But here's the paradox. By trying not to be a burden, we create distance. We build an invisible wall that prevents true connection, leaving the people who love us on the outside, wondering what's wrong, but unable to get in. If this video sounds like it's describing you, stay with me because the next part explains why silence feels safer than honesty. It's not just about what we've been taught. It's about how we've been treated when we did try to be honest. Think back. Was there ever a time you tried to share something you were struggling with, only to be met with a response that made you instantly regret it? Maybe someone told you to man up, or they tried to fix it immediately with solutions, completely missing your need to just be heard. Or worse, your vulnerability was later used against you in an argument. These negative experiences are like electric shocks. They teach you very quickly being open is dangerous. Silence, on the other hand, is predictable. It's safe. No one can misunderstand you, judge you, or use your feelings against you if they never know what they are. So you retreat back into silence, not because you're strong and stoic, but because experience has taught you that it's the least risky option. You've concluded that the potential cost of opening up is far greater than the quiet cost of carrying it all alone, and this leads to a dangerous cycle. The more you stay silent, the more isolated you feel. The more isolated you feel, the bigger the problems seem. It's like being in a room where the walls are slowly closing in. This emotional overload doesn't just disappear, It leaks out in other ways. It can show up as irritability snapping at your kids or your partner over small things. It can manifest as escapism, working longer hours, spending too much time on video games, or just zoning out in front of the TV, anything to numb the pressure. It can even impact your physical health, leading to trouble sleeping, high blood pressure, and a weakened immune system. You're carrying this unseen weight everywhere you go, and it's heavy. The very silence you use to maintain control is actually making you lose control. In other areas of your life, here's the mini revelation. The key to understanding this whole pattern. Most responsible men don't stay silent because they raise strong. They stay silent because they don't feel safe enough to be honest. Let that sink in. Your silence isn't a badge of honor. It's a defense mechanism. It has a reaction to a world that hasn't shown you. It is safe to be fully human, a world that praises men for their strength, but panics when they show their struggle. Recognizing this isn't a sign of weakness. It's the first step toward true strength. True strength isn't about never feeling overwhelmed. It's about having the courage to navigate those feelings in a healthy way, and part of that is finding safe spaces and safe people where honesty doesn't feel like a risk. It reframes the entire problem. The goal isn't to just talk more. The goal is to build a life where honesty feels possible. If you're a man who's felt this pressure, come and I get it. You don't have to explain, just let other men know they're not alone. Seeing that simple phrase from others can be a powerful reminder that this is a shared experience. It's a quiet nod of understanding, a digital handshake that says, I see you and I understand. It costs nothing, but it creates a sense of community right here in the comments. So, what's the solution? It's not about suddenly offloading all your problems onto the first person you see. It's a gradual process. It starts with finding just one person, one safe harbor. It could be your partner, a trusted friend, a brother, or a professional therapist. Someone who has proven they can listen without judgment, without immediately trying to fix it. And when you do talk, you don't have to start with your deepest fears. You can start small. Instead of saying I'm fine, try saying, honestly, I'm pretty wiped out today. Instead of everything's under control, maybe it's this project at work is really challenging me. You're just cracking the door open a little bit, testing the waters. This is how you build evidence that it's safe to be open. Each time you share a little and are met with support, you dismantle the old belief that silence is your only option. Remember, you don't need to disappear to be dependable, and you don't lose respect by being human. Your value as a man isn't measured by how much you can carry in silence. It's measured by your character, your integrity, and your love for others, all of which are strengthened, not weakened, by honesty. The people who truly rely on you don't need a robot. They need you. The real, authentic you. The you that gets tired, the you that gets worried, and the you that has the courage to admit it. That's not a burden. That's a human being. And being a human being is more than enough. If you're struggling with this, please know that resources are available. Organizations like the National Alliance on Mental Illness and the Mental Health America website can connect you with support. You don't have to carry this alone. Thank you for watching all the way through. If this resonated with you, consider subscribing for more content that dives deep into the things we don't always talk about. You're not alone in this.